Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to share a project with you for Simon Says Stamp. They have a kind of a mini release. I know December's still going on right now, but this is a mini release called Love You. And so if you want to check out the release, I'll link it down below. But the stamp set that I get to play with today is called Introverts Unite. And it will have you cracking up, guys. It is by Kathy Zilski, and she created some fun sentiments that had me laughing so much. There's one in here that says social distancing is my love language. Another one, it says Introverts Unite, of course, the name of the stamp set, but then there's a secondary sentiment that says preferably alone at home when it's convenient, of course. But a lot of sentiments like this, and if you want to check this out, I'll link this down below with the entire release. Now we're going to start off by stamping the sentiment that says you can always cancel with me. It is blocked off in a rectangle. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to stamp with my VersaFine Onyx Black ink on some blue cardstock. Different shades of blue, actually. I kind of raided my blue scrap bin and found 6 different colors of blue cardstock. So I'm going to stamp this one again. I got a little too close to the corner. I'm stamping in the corner because I think it's easier to cut. I am going to end up trimming all of these when I finish stamping. But I'm going to stamp a few more here. And we'll stamp our last one. And then using my scissors, I'm just going to trim around the edges of my rectangle. And then we have 6 of these little panels. I thought we would create a background with these with different shades of blue. And I didn't put very much of a dent in my scrap pile. I thought I would, but I still have a pile I got to put back. But these are my 6 sentiments. Next, I'm going to bring in some white cardstock, and then I'm going to use the largest double-stitched rectangle in my die set. I actually picked this die set up. This is a pretty new one. This is a double-stitched rectangle die set from Art Impressions. And I think I'm loving the size of these. But I'm going to take the largest, die cut out my background panel, and it ends up measuring 3 3/4 inches by 5. So just slightly smaller than that, actually. But I'm going to arrange these on my panel, and I am going to leave an open area. I thought about leaving it after the first 2 on the top, but I ended up scooting them the middle 2 up, so we have a space to stamp another sentiment in the bottom area. But I'm going to add foam adhesive behind each one of my little panels here, and then we're going to adhere them, kind of spacing them apart from the lightest to darkest. So you don't want too dark together, you just kind of want to evenly space it. I just like putting them in the corner, starting off with one corner actually, and then continue my way left to right after that. And I think that looks great. Okay, now we're going to need an accent piece. So I went through my dies and found a Panda. This is actually the Simon Says Stamp picture book Panda. I'm going to take him and die cut him out with black cardstock and white cardstock. This way we can piece him together. Pandas are super easy because all it takes is black and white cardstock. Now I'm going to punch out my panda in the white cardstock, and I'm going to keep this piece here. We're going to create a template. So I'm going to trim away the negative piece, and then I'm going to layer it on top of the extra piece of white cardstock here. I'll use a pencil and trace around it. This is a great way to create a backing for your picture book animals, because you need to layer them together on something. Well, at least I do, because I need dimension. So this I found was very helpful. Just tracing around the panda, and then I'm going to trim with my scissors on the inside line of my pencil mark, so it'll be slightly smaller, but I can still adhere all the pieces. So there's my little template. We're going to build our little panda. I'm going to start off by taking the, let's see, I always get confused with, do I take the black or the white? I'm going to take the black body portion of my panda, flip it over. We're going to add some glue behind it, and then we're going to tack this down on our little template. Now I wanted some dimension with this guy, so I'm going to take the white belly of the panda, and I'm going to add foam adhesive behind it, and then place this on my little template. So we have a little dimension. Now for the face, I'm going to take the white face, flip that over. I'm going to add glue behind it, punch out the eyes and the nose here. And then we'll glue this on our template. But I thought we would create a little added dimension and pop up the eyes and also the ears, just so he stands out a little bit. I'm going to add some very small foam squares to each one of the ears, and then also on the inside of the eyes. And then I'm going to start off by using my jewel picker and add each one of my ears. And then for the eyes, since they're still inside the face, I'm going to line up the face on my die cut and then press down on the eyes so they're evenly spaced, and the nose too. Just made it easier. And then that is my little panda. I think he's going to go perfect with our blue background here. So after we have this guy ready, I do have that open area between each one of my sentiments, and I'm going to take a thinner sentiment that's in the stamp set. There was one that says canceling plans is my love language. It kind of goes with the you can always cancel with me. I have a strip of black cardstock. We're going to take that sentiment and I'm going to place it on my strip here. I did treat my strip of black cardstock with my anti-static powder tool. We're going to ink up our sentiment with Versamark ink, and then I think we're going to heat emboss with white embossing powder. I think it's going to go perfect with our panda there. I'll lightly press down. Sometimes the thinner stamp sets, I learned that if you press lightly, you get a better image. I'm going to grab my white embossing powder, and we're going to just scoop some over our stamped sentiment. And then I'll use my heat gun and we'll melt this. I do have a little bit of powder underneath here. I'm going to wipe off, and then we'll melt it. And then I'll bring in my paper trimmer and we are going to trim down a very thin strip. After this is melted and trimmed, I am going to use my scissors and fishtail the left and the right of my sentiment. And then we're going to add foam adhesive behind it for a little dimension. Now with the foam adhesive, I'm going to double up on it. This is 3M foam tape. I did have an extra piece from a shaker card. I keep those because I can use them. So this is actually doubled up, and I needed it doubled up because my panda has dimension and I wanted it to flow nicely on my card front. I'll take this panel and we're going to add it to a standard top folding A2 size card base. And I just love the size of these panels. It is, again, slightly smaller than 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. But after we have this adhered, I'm going to take my panda, we'll flip it over, and I'm using my tape runner and add this. Originally I was just going to add to the center and called my card done, but I think I needed I love the blues, but I think we need another color in here. So I'm going to take a piece of orange cardstock. We'll scoot this guy over too. Since our second sentiment that our panda is standing on says canceling plans is my love language, I thought we would take a heart and have him holding a heart. Just got to pick the perfect one. I think this is a little wonky one. These hearts are from Paper Smooches, but I'm going to add this. I did add some foam adhesive behind it and tack that down to our little panda's hand. And I'm thinking that color just made it stand out even more. To finish off my card, I'm going to use my Journey Glaze over that heart to give it a little bit of shine. Journey Glaze is like a glossy accents. And then that's my project for today, guys. I'll dot the nose of my panda too. But if you're interested in this stamp set or checking out the Love You release, I'll link them again down below. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.